Hello and welcome to Eat, Crit and Survive plays a board game live and in person, where tonight Dom and I are going to be playing a couple of deck builder games that are designed for 2 players. I'm just going to see how it goes and watch me get myself completely trounced, because we are playing a game which Dom is kind of an expert in. Not Magic the Gathering, which he is also kind of an expert on.
I'm really not.
Well, but
I'm experienced, I'm not an expert.
That's fair. You're experienced and you are here a lot for it, but we are playing Star Realms. And we are playing Star Realms in Manascrew today. Back at Manascrew once again, you can see they do cards. We're playing a card game. We're also going to be playing Hero Realms a little bit later on, so if you want to stick around, we're going to put that as a part 2 in this video. You can check it out there and see how we do when we go from space to fantasy. Let's see what the difference is. I think it's pretty much the same game, there's just different flavors. It depends on how you feel. So come stick around and check that out. We'll put timestamps in there so that you can jump ahead. But thank you to Manascrew for having us here. Check them out on Facebook and see what they do. We'll put a link to their website in the description below, so check us out there. Dom, talk us through Star Realms, a 2-player deck builder game.
Yeah, so Star Realms is a fairly classic deck builder. You start with a deck consisting of ships that are fairly basic. Usually you start with a hand of 5 each as a sort of handicap to make it fairer for the first player doesn't have an advantage. They only start with 3 cards in their first hand. We already randomly determined that's me. On your turn, the cards you play will either have little gold symbols on them. It's trades that you can use to buy things for their cost, or it will have red symbols, which are combat, which you can use to shoot your opponent with. That's fair. We start with 50 authority, which is the name of the life total. So the aim is to whistle your opponent down to 0. First one to do that wins.
Easy enough.
There are various factions in these, so we've got a lot of mechanic-y dudes, whose name I temporarily forget.
They are machine cults.
Machine cult, that's it. Trade Federation.
And yellow.
Who are Imperial something or others.
Imperial Federation, I think something like that. We'll find.
Yeah.
We'll see them when they come on. We'll let you know.
But lots of them have abilities that look to see if you've played any matching ones this turn, and if they do, you get to do an extra thing. So this blob fighter, if you've played another blob card this turn, you get to draw a card.
But it doesn't trigger if it's the first blob played, you play a subsequent blob after.
No, it triggers every time, I believe. I will double check. I think it's a once a turn thing.
Okay. I thought it was if the first one doesn't have it up, you need to have the symbol in play already, but if I'm wrong, I may be wrong. It has been known, I haven't played this game physically before, although I have 2 copies of it on my shelf for some reason.
Yeah, the other abilities can be used at any point during your turn.
Oh, nice.
Only once a turn.
Gotcha, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Alright, so Dom has been randomly termed as going first, and Dom, you say you are a champion of this game.
Yeah, I played the inaugural Star Realms Championship that was held at War Games Workshop back when that was still a shop that exists. It no longer exists in Northampton, but there is one over in Milton Keynes. And yeah, I turned up and won the championship out of the magnificent widespread field of 2 players.
Oh.
But it was best of 3.
That's alright then.
It's the one time I've actually won a championship and got a play that for it, so I'm claiming that.
So this is a championship bout, obviously, because it is being televised.
It's not official. I don't have to play that. This is purely for kudos.
Fair enough. All right,
okay.
you're up first.
Yeah, so I'm going to start off by playing 2 scouts from my hand for 2 trades to buy myself the cutter.
Now, does the row get refilled after purchase, or is it at the end of the turn?
As you purchase, I say confidently and then check the rule, because you know what it's like. You think you know the rules,
Yes.
and then someone asks a question, and you suddenly just doubt yourself.
I'm a dungeon master, Dom. That happens to me on a regular basis. You have seen me DM. If you want to see me DM, go and check out our YouTube page. Check out our YouTube page and also check out twitch.tv/eatgritsurvive. I'm going to be doing ads whilst Dom looks at rules.
Yes, it's an immediate refill.
Okay.
Ooh, flagship. That's not one we're going to be buying anytime soon. But
No, not with the 6
coins,
money.
save up 6 money for it.
Alright.
I'll also play my other scout that I had in hand and buy this trade. So they go into my discard pile.
Indeed.
I will draw a new hand of 5. And as usual with a deck builder, when you need to draw and you don't have any cards left in your hand, you should put up your discards.
Draw from there. Alright. I have got 4 scouts. So I have 4 monies. I also have 1 Viper for damage.
I'm
So I
going
will
to
do
hit for 1.
1 damage to you. I have got 4 monies, so it's a choice of whether I want to diversify.
I seem to have lost some of the life counters from the bot. Can you pass me some dice? I'll use those instead.
Sure. I'll let you deal with that over there. Maybe just point it away from the microphone.
Good thinking.
Alright, so whilst Dom is doing that, I'm going to buy myself a Blob Fighter and a Federation Shuttle. That is... Actually, I should have bought the Blob Fighter and then seen what came up.
I doubt it would have changed much.
It probably would not, although I could have bought the Battle Station instead of the Blob Fighter, although the other card has come up. So I will buy myself a missile pod. So I'm going to be a little bit diverse in my deck. That may be a bad idea, but I had money to burn and I didn't want to risk it.
It's worth noting that the Battle Station is a slightly special card in that it is a base. So with the normal cards, after they've played, they go into your discard pile. The ones that are bases stay out in front of you and are active every turn.
Yep.
This particular one is you can scrap it, i.e. remove it from the game to do 5 damage. But it has a shield of 5, and that's useful to have because if you have that out in front of you, your opponent has to blow up that shield before they can get through and hit you.
And an outpost, I believe, that's the black one. That means it has to be hit first.
Yeah, that's the outpost. So yeah, so they have to be dealt with before you can hit the opponent. Some of them don't have that, and you can ignore them and hit your opponents instead.
Lovely. All right, Dom, it is your turn, sir.
I may as well just play out my hand. I've got 3 scouts and a Viper, so I'm going to hit 1.
Yep.
I shall leave you to make whatever arrangements you want to
Although with
do with your life counters.
that was another explorer in it for some reason.
That's probably why some can't find those. Yeah, these explorers are free for anyone to buy at any time. They cost 2 money each. When you play them, they give you 2 money, and you can scrap them for 2 damage. So they're sort of a thing to buy if there's nothing better than if you've got any spare money. So I've dealt with the damage. I've got 4 money to spend.
We are both on 49 at present.
Yeah. I am tempted by the battle station. I'm going to pay 3 for a supply bot and hope a 1 cost thing comes.
No.
It did not. Oh well. So that's the end of my turn. I don't get to save my money for next time.
No, money does not carry over, right?
Down to the wall.
How much money do you have left over? 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, just the 1, so I couldn't even buy an explorer.
No. Alright, I have got 4 monies and a Viper, so 1 damage to you again.
Down to 48.
Do I go for the battle station? I think I will go for the battle station because I already have a missile bot in my discard pile.
Replace the row.
It's 1, it is not a 1, so let's see what happens.
Just left time. So I had 2 left in my deck. Now I need 3 more.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
And there are certain cards that do allow you to refresh the market, aren't there?
I think so. I'm not sure if they're in the base game or in the expansion.
There might be. There are
There's
a lot
a bunch of
expansions.
expansions, yeah. In fact, I think that's a big box of the expansions up behind you with all the expansions.
There is. Let me get down, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. Okay, well, not going to be a very exciting turn for me. I have a Viper and 4 scouts, so I'll do 1 damage to you, Luke.
Yep.
I've got 4 money.
I'm going to put these ones over so that they're...
Yeah, I'll spend 3 on a yacht.
Look for 1. Nope. Another missile one.
There we go. You'll go, Luke.
Alright, I have got 3 scouts, 1 Viper, and a Blob Fighter.
4 damage.
So 4 damage to you, and I have a buying of 3. I think I want to buy another missile. And I have 1 left over. Please be a 1-er. No, it's another missile. Right, that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
One too many cards, I'm going to put it back into my deck. Although I would draw it next turn anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to shuffle it up. That's okay.
That's fine.
I'm
Okay.
going to put my deck on my right and my
I
discard.
have a trade box which allows me to scrap a card in my hand or discard pile.
Nice.
So I think I'm going to scrap a 5 out of my
Do you want to yeah, if we just scrap the
starter ones in a separate location. On the other
on top of the
box.
box, yeah.
Makes sense.
I've got this got a couple of golden beads.
I have 3 scouts, and I also have my cutter, which not only gives me 2 money, it regains me 4 life.
It does.
So back up to 48.
You've got 5 monies this turn.
I've got 6 monies.
Oh, 6
2
monies,
from the
of course,
scouts,
yes.
2 from there, and 1 from the trade box.
So
So
no attack this turn because you didn't play another machine cult or a Federation ship.
yeah. Well, I seem to be getting a bit of Federation-y, so I'll spend my 6 money on a flagship. That's a very good little card because it draws you a card when you play it.
It does.
Always a useful thing. And you'll go.
Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3 scouts, a battle station, and a missile.
Ooh, okay.
So, the missile bot gets both of the attack, is that correct? Because I have a battle station
Yes.
out there.
So
So,
do 4 to me.
4 damage to you. I've got 3 buying power, and I can scrap a card from my hand or discard pile. I'm going to get rid of a Viper the same as you did. So we'll put that over with the extra Viper. I have 3 buying power, so I'm going to buy the trade box.
Going heavily in the machine calls.
Because why not?
And there we go. The yellows are finally set up.
They are Star Empire ships. I'm going to go for the other missile bot. Because I think if I'm going to go for a deck that chains off things, I might as well chain it fully. There's another blob fighter. Right, so I've drawn 4, but I need to draw a 5th, so I'm going to shuffle my deck. Yeah, again.
Okay. I was thinking to do.
So my battle station is an output, so you have to hit it. Yes.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is play a flagship. My flagship, which lets me draw a card.
Okay.
And for the sake of simplicity, just 5 damage, just going to blow that up.
Yep.
If I had more than 5 damage, it would carry over to you, but I don't at the moment.
Until I play these.
Yes, exactly. Good. I'm going to play a trade box, which allows me to scrap a card from my hand or discard pile. So I'll scrap a Viper out my hand.
Okay.
And then I have its friendly supply box, which also lets me scrap a card.
Does 4 damage.
So 4 damage total. And I've got 1 scout left, so I've got
Take up 5 and flip it over to a 1.
4 money to spend.
Yep.
I'll spend 1 on the blob fighter, leaves me with 3 to spend.
There's another Imperial fighter.
Okay. Buy 1 of them, leaves me with 2. That which leaves me with 1. I doubt I'll get a 1 money thing. No,
3.
that's fine.
Okay. I'm going to play a Federation Shuttle, which gets me 2 money, plus 2 scouts, gets me 4. A Viper and a Blob Fighter.
4 damage to me. Down to 40.
And I have 4 buy-ins. So I'm going to take a trade pot. I do not, that's unfortunate, I do not have enough for a Blob Destroyer. But I am going to take myself an Explorer. For my remaining 2.
Yeah, fair enough. And it's back to me.
Yes.
I have 3 scouts. I have an embassy yacht and a cutter. The cutter does get to do damage because I've got another trade federation, so you
4.
take 4 damage.
We are tied.
And I regain 7 life.
We were tied.
Of these 2. And I have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 money to spend.
Yeah. Look, that central office is looking quite tasty for you,
Yeah.
isn't it?
The next ship you acquire this on the top of your deck.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. I'm also quite tempted by the Royal Redoubt because that's got a 6 shield.
That is pretty good.
And
And I have to discard a card if you play another yellow, which you have picked up 2 in the last turn.
yeah, well, I seem to be going down the blue, so I will spend my 7 on the central office.
The Hive.
Very good for blob players.
Aye. Right, I have got 3 scouts, I've got 3 buying. I also have 2 missile locks.
So
8 damage.
okay.
And I get to scrap a card from my hand. This card, I'm going to get rid of one of my scouts.
39.
That was from my deck. I should not have taken that the wrong way around. There's only 5 cards left, so I'm going to get rid of a. I'll get rid of this. I've got 3 buying power, which doesn't really help me, so I might as well buy another Explorer just to bump my odds up of getting some decent buying power in the future. And I had 5 cards left, so I've just drawn back out.
Nice. 2 more cards, I think I have to 5. Okay, and a trade bot. I'm going to scrap a scout up my hand.
Okay.
And a supply bot. I'm going to scrap a scout up my hand.
And 4 damage.
4 damage to you, and 1 more scout for me, giving me a magnificent 4 trade. I may as well have the destroyer. It doesn't really go with my theme, but it just does a lot of damage.
Okay.
Wrong with that. You'll go.
Well, that was most unfortunate. Oh, never mind. I have 3 scouts once again. I also have a trade bot and a missile bot. So 6 damage to you, and I get to scrap 2 cards from my hand. I should have discarded 2 cards last time, but I didn't, so that's my fault. I'm going to scrap 2 scouts.
Down to 33. I'm losing by quite an alarming rate.
And I have 4 to buy with, so I might as well buy the cutter because I do have some blues in my deck. Ooh, the mothership. I'll take the explorer so I might be able to afford the mothership at a later point.
So I have an Ember Scott who's going to get me 2 life back, which is quite nice. And then it's all about damage and being mean to loot.
Oh,
Because I've got the Blob Fighter and both my Imperial Fighters, so you're discarding 2 cards and taking 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 damage.
I'm on 25.
That is, I only have 3 trades, so
Oh, only.
I will just buy an Explorer and finish the turn.
Okay, well, I have a terrifying 5 buying power. So do I go for the Hive or the Battle? The Hive is good because it will block for 5.
It's not an outpost, you do not have to destroy it.
You do not, no, but you can choose to.
Yeah.
Or I can take the Battle Mech, which is will let me draw a card and will do 4 damage. I'll take that. The Corvette.
Something it's a yellow one rather than the little red one.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I will play out the central office. So that's the base that stays in play. You don't have to destroy it to hit me, but you can
No,
do if you
you
choose.
get 2 buying power and you can put next ship you purchase on top of your deck. Real good.
Especially as it's a card that you draw a card.
Yes.
So,
If you play another blue.
yeah, which I am doing. And as I checked earlier, you can activate these at any point during your turn. So you're taking 4 damage.
Yep. 21.
I've got 7 buying power, and I can put whatever I buy onto my deck.
And you heal 4, so I'll just give you that whilst you're doing that.
Oh,
39.
I think I'll put that on top of my deck and then activate the draw a card ability. So that's going to be 6 more damage, and I get to draw another card.
So sad. So sad.
Oh. 5 more damage to you. I gain 5 more life.
So hang on, so that was 11, so that was from 21 down to 10. This has gone down. This has gone sideways very quickly.
39, picking up 4. And I need to draw another card that I've used up my deck, so I need to shuffle and.
Sorry, camera's there.
Do I get one of those cards? Another scouts. Not in that much danger.
So you've only got one purchasing.
Yes, I've used the best. And there's nothing to purchase for one, but I don't think we complained about that. So that was a good turn.
Yeah, it was. Oh no. Alright, so you're on 34.
Yeah.
I'm on 10. Well, let's see what I can do about that. Not a great deal. So I can do 6 damage to you.
Are you doing it to me, or do you want to go out of my central office?
No, I just want to shoot you in the face with my...
Okay, not to go down to 20. So let's go down to
Although,
20.
no, you know what? I will shoot down your central office.
Okay.
Because I need to clear that off the board. I've got 3 buying power, so I will buy... the ram.
Just pure damage.
Pure damage, but it has got a bit of buying power.
If you scrap it.
If I scrap it. Since I have other blob cards, I have no other yellows.
Under 5 for me. Oof.
Okay. Well, am I dead?
I think so. I've got a blob destroyer and a blob fighter, so that's going to be 9 damage, and I get to draw a card. Yeah, very dead. So I have 2 machine cults that are going to pump each other up, and an Imperial fighter.
Yeah, that's fair. Hold on. Okay.
And that's why I'm the champ.
That is why he is the champ. So that was Star Realms. Very quick run through of the fantasy, the space sci-fi themed version of this 2-player deck builder. Well done, Thomas. Very well done.
Thank you.
We are going to take a moment to reset, and we're going to switch over to Hero Realms to see the difference between the two.
Yeah, I'm allowed to lose that one.
Yeah, he's allowed to lose that one. We'll see how he goes. Back in a moment. And we are back. We have set up Hero Realms, the fantasy version of Star Realms. Play is pretty much identical. There are certain cards which have got abilities that are used if they're rotated. They go into prepared and then they're rotated, much like some other card games that will have a trademarked term for that, I'm sure. But we'll come to that at a later point. But I've got it to Star Realms on the thing here. I'm going to change that to Hero Realms.
I have the app for this, that if you wanted to put the scores, because we use this in Flash and Blood. That's a thought.
Oh, well, I think we'll be okay. We managed
Yeah,
to
no,
play
well,
with Star Realms.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, probably should have done that, but no.
That's okay, you can say it before.
Yeah.
I've got the live tracker from the Magic app if we wanted to use that.
True, good too. It's fine. This
This one, this seems to work quite nicely.
do that again just for the sake of ease. And we are back to play Hero Realms, the fancy version of Star Realms. So a lot of the cards do pretty much the same thing. They're just different versions, but they have got the same colours, similar abilities. It's pretty much the same game, just with a few different bits, including things like this Cult Priest as a champion, who has an ability which activates when he's rotated, much like another card game, which we are not allowed to mention how that ability works. It might be trademarked. So, I am the first player this time. We rolled D20 to decide our initiative, and I got a natural 20. That sounds about right. So, I have got 2 gold as my currency and a short sword for 2 damage.
Okay, not too down to Watergate straight up for that.
Yep. 50, and I've got 2 gold. I am going to purchase. Take a profit card. And I cannot buy anything else this turn because everything else is let us know in the comments, by the way, if this sort of thing is difficult to see. We are using a different setup in our future games, so hopefully we'll be able to get some closer shots on that. We're just sort of trying this as a new thing and seeing how it goes. Yeah, I mean, it's your turn.
Yeah, I've got 4 gold and a short sword to stab you with. So 2 damage to you, and I've got 4 money to spend.
You do.
Um,
Would you like to buy some intimidation?
I'm going to buy some influence as a starter.
Alright. And for the main set?
Yeah, some intimidation. An intimidation chaser.
Alrighty there. It is my turn. I have got 3 gold and a ruby, which gives me 5 monies. I also have a dagger for 1 stabbing.
Down to 47.
So I could buy the wolf form, which does 8 damage and you discard a card. Or I could buy the cult priest, which gives me the money and the thing, and would, that doesn't go well with my profit. We'll take the wolf form, so I'm not really decided on a path at all yet. It costs more than 5 monies. You're up.
Okay. Surprisingly enough, I've got a ruby, 3 gold, and a dagger.
What?
So 1 damage to you.
Yep.
And then I've got 5 to spend. I will spend 3 on the cult priest, leaving me with 2. None of the fancy cards are any good, but I've got 2 left over, so I will buy a fire gem.
Nice. Alright, I am all about the money this turn. I have got 6 spending to do. Unfortunately, the cards that are out are all yellows and do not necessarily help us. Let's go with Darian the War Mage. Dance. Oh, and then I can buy the Typh Prince.
Come players, we have got 45 minutes on the round. Don't forget to go for
Oh, yours.
the like on the posts. Welcome to round 4, 45 minutes. Good luck with it. Off you go.
Okay. So, stabbing you for 1 at least.
Ow.
I've got my cult priest. And some influence. Oh, hang on, I think.
Yep, they're both red.
Yep, so that's 4 extra damage off this.
So you've chosen to use that for the.
No, the bottom thing is
Oh,
4
gotcha.
damage for a matching faction, I guess it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I've not yet decided if I'm going to use its ability.
Okay, so
damage
we've down to
or
42.
money. So I've got 5 money at the minute.
It could get 6 or stab me for 1. Oh, you did 8 damage to me that turn, didn't you? Oh, no, that's if you scrap it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's if I throw it in the bin. You know what? I think I'll use this one's ability to get an extra gold and buy the life drain. That seems
Yeah.
like a good thing.
Orc grunt. That's cool. Okay. And your champion stays in place. Alright.
Orc grunt.
Alright, I have got 2 buying power this turn, so I'm going to buy myself a fire gem. That's going to go into my discard. I have also got a dagger, a short sword, and a wolf form to deal 11 points of damage.
It's down from 47.
And you have to discard a card.
36.
And you must discard a card.
Alright, so let me just see what I've got. Yeah, I will throw away some gold. It's fairly worthless. Okay, so my ability recharges, I believe, at the start of my turn. Right, so I've got 3 minutes. Fourth one. Yes, I will use this ability to get a 4th money.
Okay.
To buy a Valley the Troops. And then I'm just going to intimidate you with my short sword for 7 damage.
So that brings me down to 35. Okay, 35 plays 36. Interesting. Alright, I have got gold, I have got a Tide Priest, I have got profit, I have got a fire gem, or a ruby, and a money. So I have got 6 money, plus 1, so 7 monies. So I'm going to buy the Word of Power, I think. Hope the 1 comes up. Oh, 1 did come up. A spark. I'm going to take that. Hope we get combo tactic in the next turn.
I just realised I had it in my hand one more time.
So let's draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I did. Good. Yeah.
Apologies for the extended language that is going on in the background that may have caught that on the audio.
Well, I am just doing a flying turn by the looks of things. Maybe not. So let's see. I've got 7 money.
Yep.
Possibly an 8. That's
It's true.
I'll pay 3 for closed ranks, leaving with 4.
Taxation has come out.
So yeah, I'll spend 4 on the Master Weigh-In.
Ooh.
And use its ability to get 1 for some taxation. And I'm then going to throw the fire gem at you and do 3 damage to your guy.
Okay.
And kill them all.
Knocks him out.
I'll stick it.
Well, it goes in this part. It's part of the. I guess it's a finite resource, so
Yeah, I mean, the odds are we're not going to run out, but
probably not. No.
may as well play by the book.
Yep. All right, my turn. I have got 4 money and a stab. So I could buy 2
Oh,
fire
this helps
gems.
for 1 then.
Mhm.
Down to 35.
I will buy myself an orc grunt. I have 1 left over. Nope. Borg ogre mercenary. We're the Borg.
Resistance is futile. Okay. I'm not going to be doing that much money. Let's see.
Attack over.
Okay. I'm going to make 2 money and then a third. And buy myself a little grunt.
Yep. It's intimidation again.
I will then rally the troops and prepare a champion, so I get that back.
You heal 5 and deal 5.
So I go back up to 40.
Okay. Well, 30 even.
And then yeah, short sword and intimidation, and that's for
Another
8 more damage.
Ow. That's very kind.
And then it's your go.
Alrighty then. Well, you hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you. I have my short sword and my wolf form. That's 10 damage. I also have Darian the War
Are you
Mage.
just hitting me in the face?
I've got 10 damage to deal, so I'm going to kill off your cultist
Okay.
and then do 6 damage to you.
Yeah.
Down to 36, 34 even. I'm going to use Darian the War Mage to heal myself 4. So brings it up to 26. And I have a fire gem and a gold, so I have 3 monies. I'm going to buy intimidation myself, because that's something pretty useful. And I'm going to scrap off my fire gem to do another 3 damage to you.
Oof, down to 31.
Out of cards on my deck.
Speaking of cards in my deck, I will do a life drain, which lets me sacrifice a card in my hand with this card fire. So I think I will sacrifice off some gold.
You have a discard pile left? I thought you'd just flip your deck over.
I don't think we draw again until it's time to
You're right.
draw.
You're right. I thought you. Sorry, I thought you'd flip your deck because I thought you'd run out last turn.
No, I had 5 left, luckily.
Harpy.
I am going to flip it now. So draw a card.
Yep. Got to put the street folk back in. One of the things that's good with Hero Realms is there are expansions which have starting classes in there as part of the deck, so the decks can have a little bit of variety in there. You can do it as a campaign mode, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Not in the base game, but in the overall expansions.
I'm also liking the art on the cards. I mean, the Star Realms art is pretty good, but this, you know, it's got actual people in it. It's got a bit more life to them.
Yeah, and I like that there's some flavor text on it. Like my
Yeah.
Darion the War Mage. Orcs mocked man's gibberish at first, but they soon learn to respect dragon tongue. Because the dragon is. There we go.
Okay.
Pretty cool card.
So I have 9 stabby power
Oh. Why?
and 6 buying power.
And you drew an extra card.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I got a gold.
Gotcha.
Ooh, that's quite useful.
Rampage.
Rampage. But being a nerd, I am also tempted by the dog.
Yeah. That's fair. Very fair.
Okay. Oh, I will rampage a bit. And this is your go.
Alrighty. So, Darion the War Mage comes back. I have got Intimidation for 5 damage.
Okay, not
I have
down to 26.
I have a Word of Power, which lets me draw 2 cards. And it also heals me 5 because I have another yellow out in place. Brings me back up to 22. I have a Spark, which means you must discard a card and take another 3 damage.
Okay, down to 23 and discarding a
I've also
card.
got a Short Sword and a Dagger, which does another 3 damage. Down to 20.
Down to 20.
And then I have 2 money.
Oh,
I think I could bring you down to 17. I could bring you down to 12, actually. Like, I scrapped it. Okay. I'm going to use Darion to heal 4. Bring myself back up to 26. I've got 2 buying power, just go back. That's the only downside to these things. You can't carry money over. Which makes sense, I guess.
okay. So, this is a rules question.
Yes.
With the ones that can expend,
Bring your cards down slightly. Covering your face.
okay, sorry,
Okay.
some of them have the guarding thing where you have to, I presume you have to blow them before you can get through to the controller.
Yes.
Do they still have that when they've been?
I believe so. I think it's just a way to show that they have been exerted.
I have Master Wound, so I will get
Sorry?
I have Master
While a player has a paired guard in play, they may not be attacked, and their non-guard champions may not be attacked or targeted by an opponent.
Oh, there we go. So
So
that's
they've been
good.
expended. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Good to get that clarification before you make a turn.
So, yes, I will put 3 damage sort of in my pool. No, I'm not doing it to you. I'm going to save it up and start your
Okay.
because I'm going to use my valuable ships to prepare my champion again.
Yeah. With another 5.
Yeah. So we'll call that 8 for now, and I'll gain 5. That's 25.
Okay.
So 5 for that,
And then
3
3
to
for
you.
Is that including the plus? Is that plus 1 for each champion. You
Hits each other champion, doesn't count himself.
So,
Then yeah, 5 more damage to you from intimidation. And I'm going to heal for 6 more from taxation. So 25, 31. And then I have just too many to spend, not very much money. That's okay.
fire gem is the only thing.
Fire gem. And I have a prepared master wound who can soak up 4 damage.
Yes. Yes, because you combine that. So
Yeah.
yes, gotcha. Alright, wolf form. So he is eaten and you take 4 damage.
Fair enough. So down to 27
Then
again.
I can play this, which gets me 4 money, and I'm going to heal 1. So I go up to 19, and I have 4 money. I will buy myself a man at arms. 19
19, okay.
versus your 27. I may be hosed.
So I will have my orc grunt,
Bug.
who is the champion. Do I want to use this? Yeah, 2 from him, plus 5 from that makes 7, plus 2 for another champion makes 9, plus 2 for a short sword makes 11 damage total.
So down to 8.
And then I just have 3 buying power. I'll have a street thug.
Elven Curse.
I'm sure you're hurling a few of those my way at the minute as well.
Well, they're not necessarily Elven. Alright, I'm going to play Orc Grunt to just defend, and I have 5 buying power. I will get the Elven Curse. No bribe, but I will buy another fire gem. I'm not going to use the Orc Grunt, just going to turn.
Right, it's going to help me beat your orc grunt, but can't quite kill him off on his own.
Wheel.
2 cards in hand, plus 3 more to 5. Orc grunt gets his breath back. Ooh, yeah, this is going to suck for you. Okay. So, now I cult increase. So I'm going to do a bit of damage addition. So 1 off them and 2 off them makes 3. Plus 5 makes 8. Plus 2 makes 10. Plus another 2 makes 12. So 3 to that is 9 to you.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Yep.
Well done.
Apparently deck builders are my strong suit.
Apparently. Very good. Thank you very much. Well done, Don.
Thank you.
That is 2 for 2. So that is Hero Realms. That is the variation over Star Realms. I think I like Hero Realms a little bit better. I think I've only because I'm more into fantasy than I am sci-fi.
I quite like that it's got the ability to expend the heroes. It's just a little extra mechanic that gives it a bit more, bit more options, a bit more tactics to play around with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the first game, so I'm not going to give it a final vote. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I've only played Hero Realms twice. I played Star Realms a bit on the app, and I played it once physically. For me, I prefer Hero Realms just because I'm more of a fantasy guy than I am a sci-fi guy. But that is it. We have been Crit and Survive. We have been playing here at Manascrew, Northampton. Please do check us out on YouTube and on Twitch. Follow us here, subscribe here. You can go and see some of the other board game stuff we're doing over there and down there on the there-ish. There you go. And then down there is going to be a link to some of our other stuff that YouTube thinks you might like. Check us out on twitch.tv/eatcritsurvive on Wednesdays at about 8 o'clock UK time, GMT BST time zone we're at, which time of the year, and also on Fridays at 7:30 PM where we are going to be continuing our D&D campaign. So we hope you all will see you there. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself. Have a very good day. Bye. I don't know how to end these things. Bye-bye.